AOC says so many people in this country hate women. Oh, geez. Even the guy at the party who pulls out a guitar is like, way to ruin the fun. Finally, new rule, you don't really love America if you hate half the people in it.
Bill Maher just brutally destroyed AOC on live TV for hating the very country she claims to fight for. He tore apart her fake working-class image, mocked her clueless rants, and exposed the empty performance behind her so-called activism. This wasn't a debate. It was a takedown, and now even her own allies are struggling to defend the wreckage.
AOC. People love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the...
They're not asking for AOC.
Yes, they are.
The people you party with
No. The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't.
But
she's
AOC...
very far left.
Bill Maher just did what half of America has been dying to see. He stood up on live TV, looked the woke mob dead in the eye, and basically said, "Sit down. You're embarrassing us." And of course, leading that embarrassment parade was none other than Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, aka AOC, aka Sandy from Yorktown Heights, playing Bronx cosplay for likes. Yeah, we'll get to that mess in a second.
From Yorktown, New York State Assembly, he said, quote, "She's embarrassing herself for doing everything possible to avoid saying she grew up in the suburbs instead of the Bronx."
He didn't hold back. The first line alone hit like a brick. You don't really love America if you hate half the people in it. Boom. Right out the gate, Maher threw a grenade straight at the modern left, and AOC caught the shrapnel with both hands. Because if there's one thing she's consistent at, it's spewing victimhood narratives that divide, not unite.
You don't really love America if you hate half the people in it.
Maher didn't just roast her. He exposed the whole gimmick. These aren't bold truth-tellers fighting for justice. They're branding machines. He pointed out what everyone else is too afraid to say. The far left isn't defending America anymore. They're auditioning for TikTok stardom. Loud, dramatic, and allergic to facts.
Let's talk about our little oppression cosplayers. Those people who are out there LARPing, being impoverished or oppressed. AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and she said this. "Also, I'm a Bronx girl. You should know that we can eat Queens boys for breakfast, respectfully." Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
And here's the twist. While AOC cries oppression and slams the country that made her famous, 72% of Black Americans under 30 are actually optimistic about America's future. 72%. You know who's not optimistic? The whiny white progressives sitting in Whole Foods sipping $9 oat milk lattes while tweeting about colonialism. The same people who think retweeting AOC is activism. It's not. Now let's talk about AOC's greatest hits. You know that infamous interview where she was asked to explain what she meant by occupation of Palestine? She fell apart like IKEA furniture. At first, she sounded so confident. "I support a two-state solution." Then the journalist asked, "What does that mean exactly?" And AOC melted like cheap wax in the sun.
Use the term the occupation of Palestine.
Oh, it keeps getting better.
Or Palestinians are experiencing difficulty in access to their housing and homes. Do you think you can expand on that? Yeah, I mean, I think I'd also just, I am not the expert on geopolitics.
Within seconds, she admitted, "I'm not the expert." No kidding. You're out here throwing geopolitical buzzwords around like confetti, and you didn't even Google what they mean? Joe Rogan didn't even need to exaggerate. He literally compared her to a fifth grader who didn't read the book, because that's exactly how she sounded. You know the one. The kid who gets called on in class and just starts making things up because they thought they'd never be picked. That's AOC, a bundle of sound bites, no substance, all panic.
Talked to that lady and she asked her to expand.
About Israel-Palestine?
Oh
yeah.
my God.
She just collapsed into herself.
It's literally like a fifth grader that didn't study.
And the way she tosses around words like intersectionality and systemic injustice, it's not intellectual, it's a smokescreen. It's like she thinks if she throws enough buzzwords into a sentence, people won't notice she's saying absolutely nothing. Newsflash, we noticed. Then came her speech about capitalism. She says unemployment is low because people are working 70 hours a week and still starving. Excuse me? First of all, no. Second of all, what? That's not how economics works. That's how Instagram arguments work. It's the kind of thing someone tweets while riding an Uber they didn't pay for.
responded back again and saying if a person is working 40 hours a week and is paid so little that they need government help to make ends meet, it's not the person that's a weight on our system, it's the company. Now, it is true that last year Amazon did increase their minimum wage to $15 an hour.
Speaking of acting, let's talk about her backstory. AOC, sorry Sandy Ocasio, wants you to think she clawed her way out of the Bronx jungle like some modern-day Cinderella. But in reality, she grew up in Yorktown Heights. That's not the Bronx. That's Starbucks, soccer practice, and organic quinoa. Her entire I'm One of You brand is about as real as a Netflix docudrama.
Who says, first she said she has visited extended family. Then she said she had commuted between the Bronx and Yorktown. I was just visiting Yorktown Heights. Oh, I was just commuting. And now she's said she grew up in between the two, like back and forth, back and forth. No.
And that whole bartender to Congress fairy tale? Yeah, millions of people have worked service jobs while going to school. That's not a struggle story. It's called being a normal American. She makes it sound like she was flipping bottles in a dirty alleyway before being discovered by destiny. Come on.
And she's talking about how she's been cleaning houses her whole life. Meanwhile, she grew up in Yorktown. Then she writes, she says, growing up between the Bronx and Yorktown deeply shaped my views of inequality.
Let's talk about AOC's so-called big crowds. Because apparently, showing up at a rally with some college kids and ring lights is now proof of presidential readiness. Bill Maher called this nonsense out perfectly. He mocked the left's obsession with crowd sizes like it's some political Coachella. Bernie and AOC pulling stadium numbers? Cute. But crowds don't vote. Ballots do.
Look at the fact that the people who are getting the big crowds right now are AOC and Bernie Sanders. They're going around the country. I feel like, big crowds, again, the shiny object that the Democrats chase. It's not about the big crowds that come out to you when you're talking in a festival or wherever they are. I think it's because I think Bernie showed up at Coachella. That must have been fun for the fans.
It's always the same recycled hype. Look at all the people who showed up for AOC. Yeah, and half of them are there for the free weed and hashtags. This isn't Woodstock. This is a candidate who crumbles when asked, "Can you explain what you just said?" But sure, let's crown her queen because 300 people clapped at a climate march.
And I just don't see that's the ticket. I mean, Cory Booker, I know you've worked with him. I like Cory a lot from my home state of New Jersey. Made a speech for 25 hours. Again, just whacking each other off. This is just not what's going to get the job.
Maher skewered this image perfectly. And the cherry on top? Her appearance at the Met Gala in a designer gown while ranting about income inequality. That's not bravery, that's satire. She literally showed up to a rich people's costume party to yell about how evil rich people are. You can't make this stuff up. And even her defenders are jumping ship. Remember when Don Lemon tried to argue that the people want AOC? Maher shut him down so hard, Lemon had to reverse course mid-sentence. He went from people love AOC to, okay, well, people I party with don't really like her. That's not confidence. That's damage control.
The people you party with
No. The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't.
OC is not the voice of the people. She's the voice of people who think yelling on Twitter is policymaking. Her ideas fall apart under pressure. Her background doesn't match her brandings. And even her friends can't defend her without fumbling live on air. Maher didn't let that slide. He clapped back hard, joking that maybe we should just rename Captain America to Captain Stolen Land. And honestly, at this rate, the woke crowd would love that. But then he dropped the line that absolutely torched the performative left. Either give it back or shut up. That's the thing. They don't actually want to give it back. They just want to signal how aware and brave they are while doing absolutely nothing meaningful. It's activism without the sacrifice. Moral grandstanding from behind a screen.
The land goes, yes, I guess we could change the name of Captain America to Captain Stolen Land.
And here's where it gets scarier. Maher warns that if Democrats keep throwing democracy, free speech, law enforcement, the military, and capitalism under the bus, what exactly is left? Seriously, if you cancel every American institution, what are you even fighting for anymore? Just vibes? Just hashtags? Maher nailed it. You know who loves this country? Immigrants. Because they've seen real oppression. They've lived under regimes where dissent gets you disappeared, where elections are fake, and where free speech is a joke. They come here because despite all the chaos, America still delivers. The dream still exists, and it's not because of AOC, it's in spite of her.
You know who loves this country? You know who's not constantly complaining about what happened 200 years ago and who's not obsessed with seeing America through shit-colored glasses and shaking off the stench of what irredeemable, privileged assholes we are? Immigrants.
She claims to be a fighter, a voice for the people. But the truth? Her arguments are hollow, her talking points are collapsing, and even her own allies can't keep up the act. At this point, defending AOC on live TV is like trying to sell water to a drowning man. Just ask Don Lemon. He tried it once and instantly walked it back when Maher pressed him. Maher isn't just roasting one person. He's dragging the entire circus of performative progressivism into the light. This isn't policy, it's performance art. And it's turning off the very people Democrats need to win elections: moderates, independents, regular folks who still think America is worth fixing, not trashing.
And also, if you hate a lot of the things that everybody always loved about it.
And what do the Democrats do in response? They double down, they gamble, again, on a figurehead who sounds great in tweets but falls apart under real scrutiny. First Kamala, now AOC. It's like they're trying to lose on purpose. Maher's basically yelling, "Please stop before you hand the next election over on a silver platter." But no one's listening. And then came Maher's mic drop moment. A simple truth that should have ended the conversation. If you hate America, stop pretending to fight for it. Done. That's it. Because what's happening now, it's not leadership. It's not patriotism. It's narcissism in a protest shirt. AOC isn't the future. She's the distraction. And the whole country sees it now. No more illusions. No more filters. The mask is off. And whether the left wants to admit it or not, Bill Maher just exposed the entire rotten core. AOC's mask is off. And if you thought that was brutal, hit subscribe because we're just getting started.